Ford Motor Company is an American multinational car manufacturer that is founded by Henry Ford. It is one of the oldest automakers, and in this year the company celebrated its 115-year. The company is doing great to this day, with a net worth of $37.95 billion as for April 2019, and it is selling around 2.5 million cars each year. Even before the famous company started, Henry Ford was creating his first cars, that were named quadricycles. In the year of 1901 the famous Ford Motor Company was founded, and only on 1907 the trademark that we all know and see on the screen was introduced to the world. On the next year, 1908, Ford Motor Company introduced Ford Model T, first simple, affordable and durable car that got the whole world on the wheels. In 1913 Ford has automatized the whole industry and began mass production of cars, technically complex product for those days. In 1922 Ford introduced Lincoln Motor Company. After that, company has reached multiple milestones, such as opening new factories in different countries and creating new models of cars. This is our vertical and horizontal analysis of the Ford Motor Company. It can be seen that the company had a drastic drop in their profit in 2018 compared to the previous year. The company had a 53% slip in their profit compared to the year prior. However, the company's sales revenue was $3.5 billion higher than the previous year's revenues. Analyzing this figure in more depth, it can be seen that, as mentioned, the Ford Motors increased their sales revenue by 2.2% but also had over $5 billion more of variable costs in 2018, which made their contribution margin to decrease with 12.3%. The Ford Motors did manage to reduce their fixed costs with $100 million, which was 0.9% from the year prior. Taking a look at vertical analysis of 2017, it can be seen that the company's end profit was 3.1% from sales revenues in total, which in 2018 decreased to 2%. As mentioned, the company managed to reduce the fixed costs with 0.1% and in being around 7% of the company's sales revenues. Current ratio for 2017 is 1.23 and for 2018 it's 1.20. Quick ratio for 2017 is 1.11 and for 2018 it's 1.08. Such changes could be a result of growing liabilities and decreasing in assets. However, it is a tendency of almost every company nowadays due to the progress and changing trends and growing rivalry. As in case with quick ratio, company's current ratio is a little above 1.23 and 1.2 throughout 2017 and 2018 to be exact. From the ratios of capital structure, we could see that the situation varies very much. The debt-to-equity situation of Ford is quite poor, considering quite low number of equities. The number shows us that the company uses debt financing quite often, which results in quite big number and spooky number. As a suggestion, perhaps Ford uses too much of it and should consider other ways of financial, because Ford now has $6 of debt per every dollar of equity, as for 2018. Speaking of equity ratio, perhaps, because of the policies of the company's financials, company uses lots of debt to pay its assets and is far away from financing its assets with equity and not debt. The last but not the least, the profitability of the Ford Motor Company, both operating margin and operating profit margin look very low for such a big company. However, the situation looks exactly like that since second half of the 2016, where the numbers suddenly dropped from being more than 9% of operating profit margin to 3% and less. Considering ROI, once again, the company has quite low numbers. In 2017 the number is relatively good, in the range of fair index, while in 2018 the situation got worse. The profitability and efficiency of Ford Motor Companies with which capital is used is quite poor. In fact, it is declining. Conclusions. Starting of the second half of 2016, it has been a challenging period of time for Ford Motor Company. They are adapting different financial strategies to sustain the company. However, the Ford Motor Company is still far from crisis and making billions of dollars profit.